Greetings, fans. This is Iggy with Project Nerd, and we're here at C2E2 for another Behind the Cosplay with the amazing photographer, the portrait dude, also known as Wes.
Thank you.
So Wes has been shooting for us all weekend. You'll see it. By the time this comes out, you'll see a number of galleries of great cosplayers with his personal touch on those amazing photos, as well as galleries still to come. Of course, they will be knocking down his door to get those pictures. Everybody wants to shoot with Wes. So, Wes, what is it like to come to C2E2 and get to work with all these cosplayers?
Well, butt kissery will get you everywhere, but this is my first C2, and just really appreciative that you guys brought me up because I probably wouldn't be here otherwise. But it's amazing here. There's so many people. I was kind of afraid, this is kind of outside of my normal range of stuff that I do, and I was like, I ain't gonna know anybody but the guys there, but so many people running up. I was like, oh my gosh, Wes, hey, how's it going? And then hanging out with you guys is great. So,
Yeah, everybody in the Midwest is here. If you're a geek in the Midwest, you're here at C2E2.
I mean, it's unbelievable, the people from different states and different stuff like that. I just had a friend of mine in Columbus, and he was like, what part of the con are you at? I'm like, are you there? And he goes, no, I'm referring a buddy of mine from Kansas over to you right now. So I just shot with the guy a minute ago. I took a selfie with him. I sent it to him. So you never know what you're going to get into here, but it's been great. I've had a blast.
So what is it like? I know you do some photography for like weddings and graduation, things like that. What we'll call normal people photography.
Muggle shots.
But what is it like, transitioning that art into working with people in costume?
It's been kind of weird actually because, I was, back before I started doing this, I was kind of frustrated with the normal stuff because it wasn't working out the way that I thought, and I just felt like I was copying everybody else's style. So, long story short, I shot with a buddy of mine that dresses like Batman a lot. Matt, that's you. But anyway, so we shot that, and I just kind of took a different tack on it. I'm like, I've read comic books my whole life and stuff like that. Let's shoot it like a comic book looks. And kind of found my style in that, and instead of bouncing back and forth, I'm just like, screw it. I'm going to shoot weddings and seniors like I shoot my cosplay stuff.
Well, that was my next question. So you've seen that it's affected your normal photography, your normal people.
I actually had a senior last month request my creepy lighting. So that made my day. And I was like, okay, well, where do you want to shoot? And she was like, well, I want to shoot in a graveyard with my Stephen King collection. I'm like, I am totally down.
And can you bring a supervillain?
If I would have suggested it, probably. I joked about a skull, that make it glow. And she's like, I should have brought my skull. So like, if you have a skull.
Well, fun story. You were actually with us at Indie PopCon when they were having some graduations, high school graduations go on in the convention center at the same time. And it seemed like not a single costume person could walk by that area without getting stopped by about a dozen seniors wanting their graduation photos with some superheroes and supervillains.
And it's just like, whenever you see other conventions that are kind of at the same con, some of them's like, cheerleading and stuff like that. We've had so many that like break away from their herd of friends. It's like, oh my God, I so want to get a shot with you. So it's awesome whenever that happens. It's pretty funny.
So of the people, I don't want to make you pick a favorite because I'm sure they're all your favorite. But what are some of the costumes, or maybe you mentioned a few shots that you were able to do something creative that just stood out to you?
Yes, shooting with Sweets for a Sweet. I got a shot that was kind of experimental. I've been trying some different stuff with light trails, and it's hard to do in here without a tripod, but it's just like, let's just try this, and it turned out great. And we both squealed, not gonna lie, not gonna hide that. Shooting with Night Mage is always a pleasure. That guy just ridiculous on every level. But we got a really cool cape flip shot of that, so that was awesome. Just so many people. I mean, it's just like everybody. I love the energy that they bring and the creativity and stuff like that. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, you make me look different. I'm like, this is the way people see you. This isn't the way you see yourself. But everybody deserves to feel like a rock star. So if that's through my photography and stuff like that, if I can show them what I see, then
Great way to put it.
I love it. I love it.
And we've said all weekend, everybody's their own harshest critic.
They seriously
validated again here. So
because I look at all my stuff and I'm just like, I don't want to share that. I mean,
And everybody else is like, look at this photo. So you mentioned comics really influence your style. Do you think your other influences, are they more the cosplayers themselves or maybe some other photographers?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I look at some photographers, but I've really kind of tried not to look at a lot of other cosplay photographers and stuff because I don't want to being influenced by something isn't bad, but I've really tried to
Not be another brick in the wall, basically.
try to find something that's like, okay, I want to find something that everybody else specifically is not doing and find a way to make that work, you know, so that way I would have a recognizable style and I would have just a uniqueness to my shots just to make it fun, you know, because, you know, if somebody gets the same shot from half a dozen photographers, that's okay, but you know, I want to give them something different.
Definitely. Yeah, because a lot of these folks are shooting, like, there's rows of photographers down here just shooting. So, okay, so I have a couple more questions for you, and then two really important questions. But one is, now that you've been to C2E2, another con, maybe a dream con for you.
Dragon Con, for sure. You know, Colossal Con is right up there as probably my favorite con, followed by this now and Cincinnati Comic Expo. Cincinnati's always got a soft spot in my heart because that was my first one, but Dragon Con is on the radar.
There's a group of people that will see this that know we're pulling them towards. We almost got them to Dragon Con, so that group knows what to do.
Miracle and Chris Burns have been trying to get me down there forever because that's where they live. So if you guys are watching this, don't give up. I'm heading down there sometime.
All right. What the other one is another kind of dream question. What cosplayer do you need to shoot with that you haven't had a chance yet?
Oh my gosh.
The stump question right now.
There's so many. I'd have to say Anti-I-Chan from out on the West Coast because her gender bend Winter Soldier really, really caught my attention. And yeah, I've kind of been following her since then. And I mean, anything that she does, she always just puts this cool spin on it. It's like, my gosh, that is so that character. And she's got a really good sense of humor. I watch her stuff on YouTube. We talk back and forth on Twitter, and she's probably at the top of my list right now.
You heard it. So come shoot with Wes. So the important questions that I alluded to earlier. The first one, DC or Marvel?
You're gonna hurt me here. Sorry, Casey, but we had this conversation last night. Marvel.
Oh, Marvel. The other question was, who's going to take over the world first? Facebook, Google, or Apple?
Skynet. They're all going to merge into Skynet. That's where the Terminators come from. It's like, yes, you can track my position, and then we send robots after you. So
the most correct answer to that question.
Coming, people. It seriously is.
Well, Wes, it's been great talking to you. Been great working with you all weekend. Of course, like we said, you can check his stuff out. Portrait Dude all over Facebook, Twitter.
Everything Instagram, is the Portrait Dude. Everything. Snapchat, Meerkat, yeah.
And then, of course, all these galleries that he's popping out. You'll see a number of them on Project Nerd coming from you. So, Wes, thanks for joining us. The rest of you, we'll catch you next week on another episode of Behind The Cosplay.
All right. Peace out.